All right, joining us now for much more on this whole story is Wyoming Senator on the Finance and Energy Committees, Mr. John Barrasso. Senator Barrasso, as always, sir, welcome. Let me just start with this macro idea. It just seems to me from a distance, what you got here is they want to reduce the world's energy source because fossil fuels is what people use, including coal, and they want to raise taxes, which strikes me as a terrible idea. It's an austerity model. It's not a post-pandemic growth model. What you thinking about that?
Well, you know, the American people this weekend said this president is out of step with them. Only 22% of America thinks this president is heading us in the right direction. And what we just saw overseas is you see the president saluting the flag of the United Nations when he should be waving the flag of the United States, to the point that he actually apologized yesterday for the United States of America, for our energy independence, our energy dominance. We have nothing at all to apologize for. Day one, he took an axe to the Keystone XL pipeline. You mentioned what he did in Alaska to stop energy production, what he stopped on public lands, and people all across America are paying the price they're paying what, $1 more a gallon since the day he became president, so it's about $25 more to fill up. And what is his solution? Ask Russia to do more. Today in America, we're using more energy and oil, that is, from Russia than we are from Alaska. That is a national disgrace. We are sending jobs, we are sending our money to people who are our enemies. Who's going to win? The big jackpot, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia. This is just wrong, Larry.
It's really, as I said, I don't want to be too cynical, but I have to be. It's drill, Moscow, drill. It used to be drill, drill, drill here at home. We should be we're 2 million barrels per day short. We were doing 13 plus, now we're doing 11. We never had a recovery. And that 2 million barrel shortage, Senator, is probably the main reason why gasoline prices have gone up, whatever, 50, 60%, and probably aren't finished yet. Now, let me just ask you this. With a straight face, he and, climate czar John Kerry are saying, well, they want the Saudis and the Russians only to produce more in the short run. Why don't they ever talk about our capabilities? And what we got today, as you may know, I'm sure you know this, is a new EPA rule on methane coming out of natural gas, which may be or may be not appropriate. I'll get your take on it, but it doesn't solve the problem of a shortage of fossil fuels.
Well, you know, the fundamental truth that this administration just doesn't seem to adopt is the fact that we are much better and stronger as a nation if we are selling energy, American energy, to our friends than if we are buying it from our enemies. And who does it hurt when prices go up? Well, it's young families trying to get by, it's seniors, it's people living on a fixed income. And with this winter coming, with natural gas, which heats half the homes in America, basically at a 7-year high in price, some people may have to decide whether they can eat or whether they can heat. That's what American families are going to be facing this winter. And why? It's because of the policies of this administration. At that climate conference, Xi from China wasn't there. Putin from Russia wasn't there. India said, no, thank you very much. We're not going to do what you want. Emissions, Larry, as you said in your opening statements, emissions in the United States have been going down dramatically for the last 15 years. We're not the problem. There are others that are the problem, and we need to make sure that we're focused on our country, our energy needs. There is something to be said about energy being used. Energy is called the master resource for a reason. Powers our economy, our jobs, our military. We are an energy superpower in terms of our potential. We need to act that way.
Yeah, it's 80% of our power source is fossil fuels. I mean, it'll take 100 years to change that mix with technology and so forth. And nuclear power, which they also oppose, has got to be a key ingredient. I mean, to me, it's about nuclear and natural gas. But, Senator, let me raise another point. In the, I think it's the infrastructure bill. I believe it's the infrastructure bill, not the big social spending bill. In that bill, there are these massive subsidies for electric vehicles and batteries and so forth. So I want to ask you, a family earning $800,000 a year, which I think we can agree, whether Wyoming or New York is above the poverty line, $800,000 a year, just barely above the poverty line. That family is eligible for a $12,500 credit to purchase an electric vehicle made in the USA with the car and the battery in a union shop. Now, do you think that's an appropriate subsidy for an $800,000 earning family?
No, I do not. And that is part of this massive tax and spending bill that they're proposing, where they're raising taxes, which will hit everybody, where they are supersizing the IRS, which are going to be more audits in an effort to squeeze more taxpayer dollars so the Democrats can spend more. And there are a lot of subsidies throughout. That's one. The other thing that's just wild in this is they want to put in place a green army, their climate corps. They're calling to hire 1 million workers to go to war against oil, gas, and coal jobs, even though even the climate alarmists and activists say it's not going to really make a difference to the climate or the environment. Larry, we have 10 million open jobs in the United States. They want to, there's help wanted signs everywhere around Wyoming. And this policy of this administration is to hire 1 million people and have them protest oil, gas, and coal, American energy jobs. At the same time, the administration wants to send jobs overseas. It makes no sense.
I know, you can't make this stuff up. It's like, yeah, it's a million strong climate police force or something, or 1 million strong climate nags going to one of our greatest industries, which, by the way, is still a hard hat, blue collar industry that throws off secondary and tertiary jobs throughout the economy, as you well know, Senator Barrasso. Let me ask you this final question. Where do matters stand on the budget in the Senate? I thought Senator Manchin said some very sensible things yesterday, as he has all along. I was glad to hear it. He favors the infrastructure bill. I believe you did not favor it, but he wants to put a pause before we have this gigantic $5 trillion social spending bill. You think a pause is coming, or do you think a snap vote is coming?
Well, it's hard to tell what's going to happen because so many deadlines have been missed already. But when I look at what the Democrats are proposing over in the House, it is still a witch's brew of bad policy and bad math, and it's enough to drown the American economy. You know, Joe Biden, before he left to go overseas, said that it was a compromise. Well, it was a compromise between the far left and the far, far left. But it still includes massive taxes, new permanent entitlements, and massive subsidies for certain energy and punishment for others.
All right, Senator John Barrasso, Wyoming. Thank you, sir, as always.